End of September.
Saturday.
Oh wait, end of September.
Saturday.
Oh wait,
Year, I think.
Was it?
I think so. I want to say it was because I think I called Benedictine football that day. If it actually was on a Saturday, that'd be hilarious.
All I remember is the context for the last.
We'll have to wait to pick off over to first. Gill hitting second at short. James Scott, the left fielder, will bat third. Rutledge Faltel, you talk a lot about him, and we'll have a lot to say about him on the broadcast here this evening.
Of course.
He'll bat cleanup as the designated hitter. We'll get to the rest of the lineup following the first offering here to Gill that misses high. 5 spot occupied by the center fielder, Braden Engel. Some seniors getting to work into the bottom half of the order. Peyton McClowry batting 6 out in right field. Chris Lynham, the first baseman, will bat 7th. Luke Ham, the catcher, in the 8 hole, and Nathan Edlin, the third baseman, rounds it out, batting 9th.
Yeah, one of the good parts about this lineup is there's so many utility players. You talk about guys like Hedlund, who's played third, he's played first, he's even been on the mound. Guys like Feltel, he's played first, he's been on the mound, he's the DH. A lot of good movement in this lineup. A lot of good trust from the coach to play a lot of the seniors today.
Count even 1-1 now. Ball and 2 strikes. That one on the outside corner. We'll talk, obviously, a lot about these seniors here this evening. This is their senior day, despite, as you mentioned, the doubleheader being moved between these two squads here tomorrow afternoon. 1-2 the count, nobody out. Yee the runner on first. A 2-strike offering here from the southpaw. Zach O'Donnell will have to wait. Defensively behind O'Donnell, Colby Kozlowski out in left field. Tyler Gade in center. Sam Busher in right. On the infield, Ty Cribbett will play third. Liam McGill is at short, and on the right side, it's the second baseman, Elliot Fulcher, and Andy Niebergy over at first. Hayden Stork doing the catching here this evening as the 1-2 slowly hit on the ground. Right side, Fulcher's got it, and the throw to first in time for out number 1. One away, and the batter now being James Scott. We'll also hit up the defensive alignment behind Nate Burden when we get to the top of the second. And Parker, we talked about it very briefly getting on the air. A couple of walks issued, close calls. Nate Burden working full counts against Sam Busher and Tyler Gade out of the 2 and 3 spots. Them put on the bags, but then a big strikeout of Andy Niebergy with also a full count, and then a fielder's choice of Elliot Fulcher out of the 5 spot got him out of the inning with the score remaining 0-0.
Yeah, Burden having a great first appearance on the mound tonight, a great first inning on the mound tonight. He's really come along this season, the freshman out of Wheaton Academy. Coach is showing a lot of trust in him, starting him, as we said, on senior night.
Yeah, it was this conversation you and I had off the air, the fact that it's a freshman getting the nod in a big series opener here on senior night. 0-1 the count on James Scott. A cut and a miss makes it 0-2.
Which means we'll probably see the senior Cloth come out early tomorrow. He'll probably start the first game of the doubleheader tomorrow, as he has been. He's usually been that first game Saturday guy.
Scott as well out of the 3-hole, a fellow freshman from Wheaton. With one aboard and one out, swinging away at the 0-2 breaking ball that is fouled straight back. Scott's
really come on his own here in the later half of the season. Overall so far this year, he's batting .255. He's appeared in 28 games and he started 27. 97 at-bats, 14 runs, 24 hits.
So the next 0-2 misses at the top of the zone. I know the other time I've been here this year was that non-conference Edgewood doubleheader a couple of weeks ago. We did not see him in either one of those games. He's coming off a 2-hit performance against Elmhurst back on the 30th and has back-to-back 2-hit games. A non-conference action on the 29th against Kalamazoo. Went 2 for 5. A runner in scoring position here for Scott in less than 2 outs. Here's the 1-2 from O'Donnell. Went with a hammer, and it's lasered foul down the first base line.
Yeah, just a little bit about the senior Noah Yee. He's appeared in 123 games in his Thunder career with a career .287 batting average. He has a .394 on-base percentage. He has 100 career hits, make that 101 as his leadoff single.
Yeah.
He has 17 doubles with 72 runs scored and 38 RBIs. This season, he's batting .313 and has a team-high 29 runs scored.
Another 1-2 on the ground foul by Scott. You mentioned Yee, the runner in scoring position right now for the Thunder. We'll make sure that every single one of these seniors that were honored pregame will get their airtime here on our broadcast this evening. Very important. I'm a firm believer in the importance of senior day and how much it matters. You, a senior right now as well here at Wheaton, a member of the football team, as the 1-2 misses high. If you can, your senior day experience this past year, man, I'm sure a lot of emotions through that for you. And more or less, this would kind of more or less relate yourself and connect the viewers to what these guys are going through here this evening.
Yeah, senior day was obviously, it was a bit emotional, just wrapping up a 4-year-long tenure as a...
The 2-2 on the outside corner in there for strike 3 on Scott. 2 down in the inning. First punch out for Zach O'Donnell here in this ball game.
Yeah, just as a 4-year athlete here, as a Thunder athlete, it was a culmination of a lot of things, a lot of hard work, a lot of determination. It was really special just being honored by the coaches, being honored and appreciated by the teammates, and then having, obviously the seniors have their parents out here with them, getting honored with them and honoring the parents and the sacrifice that they have also made. So being able to have that experience as a Thunder football player was amazing. So
runner takes off on the first pitch to Feltel, but it runs in and gets him.
It looks like that one hit him off the ankle.
Yeah, he'll take his bag. Yee goes back to second, so now 2 aboard with 2 down for Braden Angle. And I think to kind of echo what you've been saying through all of this, it's not just, it's a night for you, it's a night for your family, but it's also the guys that you came to college with.
Oh, yeah.
Guys that you met on your first day of camp, first day of practice. For these baseball players, your first fall workout.
Yeah.
You're getting inter squads in the fall, especially for this class. This wasn't a COVID class. The COVID high school class was the year after, but still kind of going through the after effects of that as the first pitch to Angle is tapped foul. It's celebrating your group, too.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously yourself. You want to celebrate your time here with the program and what you've done for the school and your time as a student athlete. But it's, you look around, man, these are guys I showed up to campus with. I met these guys in my first weekend here, and it's really a full circle moment. And it's one of the big reasons why I love senior day, any sport, any level, so much. Is quickly, 0-2 on Angle.
Yeah, it's a family thing. And the guys that you come in with, they really just become your family. As a college athlete, you don't have to go through a lot of the different struggles that regular college students do, trying to find a group, trying to find friends, because you get this built-in family, especially when you come in, with 30, 40 other guys. I don't know how many it is for baseball. I think we had, in my freshman class, 35 to 38 guys. So just automatically getting those guys who you're going through the exact same things, you're battling through the same struggles. It's something that bonds you.
It's the best part about it all. Ball in 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners aboard, bottom 1. Braden Angle will have to wait a pickoff move, checking in on Yee over at second. Angle this season a .317 hitter, making his 24th start, playing in his 31st game. He is second on the Thunder in batting average, one of 3 members of this club to be hitting over 300 on the campaign. O'Donnell set, here's his 1-2, and on the hands, it is fouled away down the first base line. If you're just joining us, Noah Yee, the leadoff man aboard on a base hit through the left side. Rutledge Feltel hit by a pitch with 2 down, keeping runners at first and second. Millikin had 2 on the bags with 2 down in the top of this first frame. Thunder here with the same in the home half. It'll be all right-handed bats following Angle. Gill and Angle, the only 2 left-handed bats in the starting lineup here for Wheaton on senior day this evening.
Just like to shout out another senior, Rutledge Feltel. He's appeared and played in 71 games during his career, a career-high 36 games this season. He has a career .367 batting average with 7 home runs. He currently leads the Thunder this season with a .386 batting average, along with a team-high 6 home runs and 39 RBIs. Rutledge is one of those sneaky, smart athletes. He's an applied health science major, and he has secured, I am told, an internship with Mayo Clinic, one of the prestige hospitals, clinics in the world.
The 1-2 to Angle in the air to center, coming in on it, Gade, and he'll make the grab to retire this side. So the Thunder leave a pair and send 5 to the plate in the opening frame. Nothing the scores. We had at the top of the second here at Lee Pfund Stadium. Back here for the top of the second, it's senior day at Lee Pfund Stadium. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers here with you. Nothing the score. Thunder stranding a pair on the bases. The home half, the first 2 up here for the Big Blue in the top of inning 2. It's the 6, 7, 8 spots. Parker, in between innings.
Yep.
I know you are always brought, or you have as of late been getting some food delivered to you of some sorts. You and I both have a cookie in front of us here that we took a bite out of in the in-between innings as he first pitched to Ty Cribbett, hit in the air to deep left field. It'll get down, and it will hop over the wall. It'll get by James Scott. It is a ground rule double for the Big Blue third baseman to begin at this top of the second inning.
That wind doing some favors there. That ball carried and carried. I think Scott thought it might go over.
From here, it looked like a routine fly ball after that,
it did.
It kept going. So runner in scoring position for the Big Blue here in the top of the second. As I was saying, for those who have had a brookie before, this is kind of like that, but it's a swirl. It's a mixture of a brownie cookie and a chocolate chip cookie. We had to get the bite in the center between innings. Fantastic stuff. So whichever parent made it and brought it over to us, thank you.
Shout out to the moms.
Fantastic.
Shout out to the moms. Y'all are awesome. We've had some cookies. We've had some burgers.
Yeah.
Man, it's been great. I know a lot of y'all know me for talking about food. I can't help it. I'm a former offensive lineman. It's one of my favorite things. It's been the biggest part of me for 13 years. So
getting to have that in between innings. We'll finish it up here throughout the broadcast. Want to know the count now. 2 balls, no strikes on Blake Van Beers, the right-handed hitting designated hitter out of the 7 spot in the Millikin order here this evening. Back on the mound, it is Nate Burton, the left-hander. Talked about him a bit in the first. The freshman making his 11th start of the campaign here this evening. A 4-2 record to go with his .339 earned run average and 1.28 whip as he gets the 2-0 pitch to land on the inside corner for strike 1.
Man, 2 summers ago when I was really getting more into baseball stats, whip was the stat that I honed in on the most. I'd never heard about it until 2-3 summers ago, and then I'm like, okay. I asked my grandfather, I said, Pops, what's a whip? He goes, Parker, it's walks and hits per innings pitched. It's something that you really need to pay attention to, especially if you're going to be around baseball more. And I was like, all right, I'm sold.
I almost value it more than earned run average.
Oh, yeah?
I almost do. I'll explain why in a minute. It's 2-2 here from Bird. Back to the hammer again. Van Beers in the air to deep left field. That one out in front of the track. Catch made by Scott, tagging the runner at second, Cribbett, and the throw into third will not be made. Is a long out number 1 here at the top of the second, and a runner will be on third for Colby Kozlowski.
Yeah, these balls are just carrying a lot, and then they're dropping. So we got a long carry and then a quick drop for a lot of these that are being hit out into left field and into center field.
Burden leading the team in innings pitched this year at 61. Opponents hitting .239 off the left-hander entering play here. Colby Kozlowski will take ball 1, corners in. Middle's back here for the Thunder. A runner on third and 1 out. Parker, anything on the ground to either Headland or Lynham on the corners. Throw could be coming home as he misses high on the 1-0. Taking off the plate is Cribbett as it gets by Ham, and the Big Blue have the game's first run.
Yeah, that one just got away from Ham, hit the backstop, and just able to make that little run, that 90-foot trot home.
The leadoff double from Ty Cribbett. First pitch swinging. The Big Blue are able to cash in and get the game's first run. Cribbett.
What a name.
Yeah, a lot of good names.
What a name.
Roster. That was his 7th double of the season as Kozlowski's swinging away at the 2-0. It's fouled off. So Burden has really been the ace of the roster this year. In terms of leading the team in innings pitched, the freshman from Wheaton Academy last went 8 frames against North Park on the 25th as the 2-1 runs in and hits Kozlowski. So another base runner here. To the 9th spot we go in the order for the Big Blue and their right-handed hitting catcher, Hayden Stork.
I mean, we got Cribbett, Van Beers, Stork, Busher. A lot of nice last names on this Big Blue roster.
Looking for something on the ground here is Burden with one away, starting Stork off with a nice crisp fastball on the outside corner for strike one. Talked about that start against the North Park Vikings on the 25th. Parker, 8 innings, 4 hits, and earned run, no walks, 7 strikeouts. The left-hander was dealing against North Park, and that one as he misses low on the 0-1 delivery.
Yeah, you'd like for Burden to find his groove here. I know it's early on in the ball game. You'd like for him to find his groove, find a little bit of a rhythm, get to where he's comfortable.
2 of his last 3 starts, he's gone 8 innings against Elmhurst way back on April 10th. 8 innings, an unearned run, 3 hits, 13 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's shown legit ace stuff this season as the 2-1 to Stark popped up. It'll get out of play to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And I think that's very rare to see these days from a freshman. Having somebody that you're that confident in that early on, just coming out and dealing in the way that Burden has been doing so far this season. I think it's amazing, and it shows a lot of trust from Coach Husted.
Elevates a 2-2 fastball going after it. Stork, another one fouled away. Good battle here between the Big Blue catcher and the Thunder ace, Nate Burden, here with 1 away and a runner on first. Millikin getting the game's first run here in the top of inning 2 as the next 2 strike offering and a fan and a miss. Chasing after that one, Stork. Now 2 down in the second.
That was a great pitch there by Burden. Just a nice little breaking ball. Got him down low.
He's back to the top of the order to Liam McGill. He popped out over to Chris Lynham in foul territory at first base to begin the ball game a frame ago. The guy in this Millikin order that really makes them go a .327 hitter and 150 at-bats on the season entering play today. Swats the first pitch he sees on a line to left, but James Scott is there to make the catch and retire the side. Leadoff double from Ty Cribbett comes around to score for the Big Blue here in the second. We head to the home half, 1-0 here at Lee Pfund Stadium.
McClowry.
6, 7, 8 here for the Thunder in the bottom of the second. Peyton McClowry, another one of these seniors, honored here this evening to lead it off. 1-0 Big Blue. Millikin scoring on a leadoff double from Ty Cribbett back in the top of the second inning. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers returning to you here in Carroll Stream for more Thunder baseball. McClowry showing about the first pitch from Zach O'Donnell, misses low for ball 1.
Yeah, McClowry's done that a lot this season. We've seen him come up to the plate and just lead off bunt quite a bit more than the average ball player. That's something that McLaury's gotten really good at, and he's been able to land some good bunts.
Comes up empty on the 1-0. Count, ball and a strike. Now we'll talk about Zach O'Donnell getting the nod here for Millikin this evening. His 12th start of the year. He's pitched in 57 2/3 innings. Similar to Burden, he leads the way in innings pitched for the Big Blue here this season as the 1-1 misses low. A 6.09 ERA and a 1.58 whip with a 6-3 record, also most wins on the squad. The junior from Atlanta, Illinois, not Atlanta, Georgia. Last pitch.
There's an Atlanta, Illinois?
There is, and I just learned that right now along with you, my friend. It's the 2-1 on the ground over to short. Liam McGill slaps the leather on it and throws the first in time for out number 1. Yeah, I kid you not, as an Illinois native, I just learned that as I read it out loud along with you. Trust me, even though I'm from here, there are parts, there are towns, there are cities that I've never heard of and that I've never been to. It's a bigger state than one would think.
It is big. Not as big as Texas.
Yeah.
You know.
They say everything's bigger in Texas.
Sure is.
It is Chris Lynham, another one of these seniors, starting at first base here this evening out of the 7th spot. First pitch swinging, foul territory. Down the left field line, calling off and giving chase. The shortstop McGill, he's unable to have it. Making sure he's all right, getting up down the line. Count will begin 0-1 here on Lynham.
Yeah, O'Donnell also leads the team in strikeouts with 53, looking to elevate that a little bit more here today.
Looking at Chris Lynham, I know we heard him be honored at the beginning of the game, one of these seniors, starting in his 18th game of the campaign. He's played in 19 now here in 2025, a 2.03 hitter in 59 at-bats. I should say he's a sophomore, not one of these seniors being honored today. That was McLaury.
McLaury was one of the seniors,
Still Lynham getting a good amount of work here in 2025. Did get an at-bat against Elmhurst in conference action just a couple of days ago. 0 for 1 in that game. It's the 1-1-2. Swung on and missed. Count now, ball and 2 strikes. He's looking for his first hit since he went 2 for 4 against Illinois Wesleyan back on April 19th. And already 1 away and the base is empty. The bottom of the center. A pitch missing low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Luke Ham, another one of those seniors on deck. He's doing the catching this evening, and Lynham's worked a full count here in his first plate appearance of the ball game and of this series.
Millikin's coming off a very strong win against Greenville University, 13-5. Their bats were hot, and they're hoping to have their bats hot tonight.
How about that high hop on the 3-2 at 8 up? Cribbett over at third. It's all the way down the left field line. Sliding in feet first safely to second is Lynham. And a runner in scoring position for the Thunder with less than 2 down here in the second.
Yeah, I think that one hit Cribbett on the ankle. He's limping. He went down for a second there. Wonder if the trainer's going to come out to see Cribbett. He's in pain.
A hot shot off the turf. It is going to be scored a double. So no error there, and obviously understandably so. That was a hot shot barreled up by Chris Lynham. It just took a funky hop for an extra base hit on his part. He does have that first hit. Now for Lynham, 5 doubles on the season. He's in scoring position for Luke Ham. If you're just joining us, a run on a hit and no errors for the Big Blue. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Thunder. These 2 teams meeting here to conclude the regular season. And as Parker mentioned at the top of the broadcast, yesterday was supposed to be a twin bill down in Decatur. Instead, it'll be right here in Carroll Stream to conclude the regular season for these squads. Wheaton entering today 16-21 overall. They're 8-9 in conference play, and they've won their last 2 on the Big Blue side. You just talked about their victory against Greenville, non-conference action. The last game that they've played in, it's good to see as well. Cribbett is all right over at third. The Big Blue, 19-18 this year. Same conference record. They're 8-9 in CCIW action. They've won their last 4.
Yeah, good to see Cribbett walking it off there. Imagine that one hurt a little bit.
Now it's Luke Ham with a runner in scoring position. Senior catcher making his 28th start of the year here tonight. 83 at-bats. And is looking to drive home a run to tie the ball game. O'Donnell's first pitch to him misses way high for ball 1.
Yeah, Luke Ham, one of these seniors, he's played in 83 games in his Thunder career with 28 games played this season. He's thrown out 40 base runners from that catcher position. He has the 2nd highest total in program history of runners thrown out. His 20 runners thrown out last season is the second highest in program history, I should say. He's been a tremendous backstop for the Thunder. We've seen that so far this year, and he's been a pretty heavy bat at times also for the Thunder.
2-0 the count on Ham. O'Donnell. Long look back to second with Lynham there. It popped up. Foul territory out in front of the Big Blue dugout. It will stay in the field of play for Hayden Stack to make the catch for out number 2.
I think that wind's still doing a little bit of favors. That one seemed to just kind of, it was floating, then it seemed to hit a wall and just drop.
Stork, the catcher. Nathan Hedlund out of the 9 spot. Playing third base will climb in for Wheaton.
Yeah, we mentioned this before. Hedlund, one of those utility guys. We've seen him at third. We've seen him at first. We've seen him on the mound, and we've seen him do some damage at the plate. Hopefully doing some damage here in this at-bat. He's looking for something hot.
The junior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, takes low for ball one. A 200 average on the nose entering play here tonight in 105 at-bats. So this is now 31 starts, 35 games played in for Hedlund. 2 round trippers. He's driven in 10. He's got 2 triples and 4 doubles as well this year. Out on second, Chris Lynham. He had a 1-out double. It's the 1-0. A slow roller foul down the third base line to even the count at 1-1. A huge Parker in this inning to get it back to the top of the order. Noah Gee awaiting on deck. And as well looking at what Millikin has to do up in the top of the third in their 2-3-4 spots.
Oh, yeah.
The Hedlund, as mentioned, we've seen him pitch as well this season. Last worked in that doubleheader you and I were part of against Edgewood back on April 12th. Was 0 for 3 at the dish against Elmhurst on the 30th.
A bit of a rough go last time on Wednesday. Hoping to rectify that a little bit here today. See if he can get something started from the plate with a runner in scoring position.
He 1-1, fouled straight back. Right to our netting here. Parker, got you flinching a bit.
No, not at all, not at all.
Nobody saw it.
I've been out here long enough to know not to flinch.
Nobody saw it. 2 strikes now on Hedlund. Last hit for him came in that non-conference action on the 29th against Kalamazoo. Scored 2 runs in that game. Here it comes from O'Donnell. Is in the air, tailing foul down the right field line. It'll end up in the parking lot. We'll do the 1-2 again.
Hope it didn't hit a car. There's a lot of cars parked out over there on the right side today.
A lot of cars in general here. The Big Blue faithful traveling well, and obviously senior day for the Thunder.
Yep.
A lot of family and friends in attendance honoring what these seniors have done here at Wheaton College as student athletes. Another 1-2 is in there for strike 3.
Yeah, that was a nasty pitch there going in for strike 3 for the 3rd out of the inning.
Hedlund down looking. The Thunder leave a 1-out double from Chris Lynham on the bases through 2 frames here in Carroll Stream. It's the Big Blue 1 and the Thunder nothing here. We'll be back for the top of the 3rd momentarily. Top 3, 2-3-4 due up for the Big Blue here at Lee Pfund Stadium. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers back with you here on the broadcast. Senior day for the Thunder. Sam Busher, the right fielder, leading off against Nate Burton, swinging away at the first pitch in the air to center, coming in on it and getting to a good spot to make the grab for out number 1 is Braden Engel. 1 pitch, 1 out for Burton here in the 3rd.
Yep, that's exactly what Burton needs. Last we checked, his count was in the 40s. He's hoping for a few low-pitch innings just for longevity's sake. Like you've mentioned before, we've seen him go 8 innings pretty sure Coach Hedlund is looking to see him go at least that far, or close to that far tonight.
He had 3 different full counts in that first inning, which definitely doesn't help in that effort. So it was around 45 pitches at the end of the second. One of those full count walks was issued to Tyler Gade in the left-handed batter's box right now. Good swing on the 1-0 in the air to left center, back at the track. At the wall, Engel will have to play it off the fence. Tyler Gade cruises into second with a stand-up double.
Yeah, that was a great double there. Like we've been saying, that one carried. Engel couldn't get to it. Scott couldn't get to it in time. He just hit right in that sweet spot, right in between the two outfielders.
Gade's a tough customer. That's his 9th double of the year. He's slugging over 500 on the season, entering play today, getting on base at a 467 clip. And he's in scoring position here. Randy Nieberge, the right-handed hitting first baseman, he went down looking on a full count back in the first. That was the 3rd straight 3-2 count that Burden had worked himself into as the first pitch kicks away from Lucam, but he's able to keep it in front of him. Staying put at second is Gade.
Yeah, talking about Gade, he has the 2nd highest batting average at 358. He has the 2nd highest slugging percentage at 504. He also has the 2nd most runs scored with 38 and the 2nd most RBIs with 33.
Prime spot to drive and runs. The cleanup batter for the Big Blue takes ball too low.
We were commenting last time, Nieberge, he's a tall guy, standing at 6'4".
I know originally before you looked at me, you'd guessed I would have thought taller. And I you
Yeah.
made a comment, I'm taller than him. Let's go. You were pretty stoked about that as the 2-0 was lasered foul down the left field line. Just a bit early on that one was Nieberge.
Yeah, Andy, you see, I have a really bad perception of size.
Oh, I do too.
Like I usually don't think I'm as big as I am, and I'll stand by somebody who's either smaller than me or just as big as me. I'll be like, man, this dude is huge.
Yeah.
And then I'll like take a picture with them, and I'll be like, oh shoot, I'm also kind of big.
I'm just as big as the 2-1 breaking ball hit in the air to left field, over out in front of the wall to make the grab is James Scott. Tagging for third is the speedy Gade. The throw there not in time. So runner on third with 2 down. Gade, I was going to mention this during the at-bat. Parker, he is 17 of 22 in stolen bases this year. One of the speed threats to look out for.
Oh, yeah.
Bases for the Big Blue, always willing to take the extra 90, and he does so there.
Should be an interesting battle here tonight with Gade. See if he can steal a couple bases or see if Ham can pick him off.
Fulcher, yet another Big Blue bat, hitting above 300 on the season, entering play tonight. 306. The first pitch to him. Popped up in foul territory, but it appears this isn't going to matter. A balk was called right before Burton fired home. So in to score is Gade. It's 2-0 Millikin.
You don't see that too often.
Both runs scored for the Big Blue coming off doubles in each of the last 2 innings. So a tough break for Burton was a pitch away with 2 down from getting out of this, keeping the 1-0 lead. Instead, it's 2-0, and the base is now empty for Elliot Fulcher. The first pitch to him is foul-tipped into the glove of Luke Ham. Fulcher, the last man to hit in the top of the first. A 6-4 inning ending fielder's choice as Burton misses high on the 0-1 fastball. Working quickly as Burton, good pace to it. A cut and a miss on the 1-1 for strike 2.
Yeah, that was a good pitch from Burton there. Just lasered it right down the middle.
He's not wasting any time, right?
Oh,
back
no.
on the rubber, and a 2-strike delivery here for the freshman. Southpaw swung on and missed.
Wow.
To retire the side. Burton fired up, getting off the mound. He faces one over the minimum here in the third, and the Big Blue plate one more. We head to the last of inning 3. 2-0 the score here in Carroll Street. Noah Yee leading off the bottom of the third. Millikin plates another in the top half of this frame. A double from Tyler Gade, scored on a balk with 2 down. 2-0 the score. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers back here with you. Parker, good spot to be in this Thunder order, trailing by a couple of runs with Noah Yee leading it up.
Yeah, Yee led off the game with a single. Hopefully he's looking to hit back into the gap here, maybe lead off with a single or a double because he is one of the speed threats on this Wheaton team.
He's ahead 1-0 here, back to work. Zach O'Donnell, the left-hander for the Big Blue. Misses, I thought missed low and away. A late call for a strike. I always tell people I'm good for 1 or 2 of those a broadcast. Get pump faked out. A called strike evens the count at 1-1. It'll be Yee, Gill, and Scott, righty, lefty, righty, due up here in this frame. And another fastball from O'Donnell is in there for strike 2.
Yeah, Yee usually has a good eye. He's good at telling if something's going to paint the corner, if it's going to go outside. He doesn't swing at too many arid balls.
1-2 pitch, sharply hit on the ground to short. McGill gobbles it up, and his throw to first just in time to get the speedy Gill for out number 1. Working up the middle, it'll bring up Jack Gill. Grounded out to second base back in the first. Gill has been another impressive bat in the Thunder order this year, who's really earned his spot, a .295 hitter. In the first inning, that was his 140th at-bat of the campaign as he takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Still looking for his first homer of the season, has driven in 16. The freshman from Hamilton, New Jersey, hits in his last 4 ball games. As O'Donnell's 0-1, grounded foul down the first baseline, count quickly 0-2 here on the Thunder shortstop.
Yeah, Gill's one of these guys. He's one of these impressive guys on the team. He has 11 multiple hit games. Let's see, it's officially 5 games with 2 hits, 4 games with 3, and 2 games with 4 hits.
0-2 sharply on the ground, up the middle and through. His hitting streak extends to 5 games. Thunder get a man on with 1 down here in the third. Just as you were saying, and I was going to bring this up too, defensively as well, him and Noah Yee have flipped spots up the middle. Yee now playing second. Gill over at short.
It's always good to have a little bit of interchange there between second and short, just so they can get a feel for each other. They know where each other's going to be.
I was going to bring it up too. Could be a passing of the torch type of moment too, with Gill being a freshman. Could be his position for a few years down the line as James Scott fouls off the first delivery he sees from O'Donnell. Scott, a strikeout victim, went down looking for out number 2 back in the first. We're right in the middle of this Thunder order. Plenty of time to go in the ballgame, not even a third of the way home. You're just joining us. Thank you as always for hanging out here on this Friday night. Another presentation of Thunder Athletics and Wheaton Baseball as Scott fouls away the 0-1 count, now 0-2.
You know, it's always interesting to see the little roundabout ways that second, short, and third kind of switch with one another. I like to think of guys, of course, everything for me is going to go back to LSU. I like to think of guys like Alex Bregman, played shortstop in college, made it up to the majors, played third base, and then, of course, right now for the Tigers, they have Steven Milam playing shortstop. He played second base last year. So there's a little bit of good interplay between those 3 positions on the diamond.
The old saying goes, everyone's a shortstop until you get to the next level, right? Everyone always starts off as a shortstop for the most part. Some guys are mainly a third, but especially if you're up the middle, you're always a shortstop at some point, and there's a separator that switches you out of that spot. 1-2 hit in the air to left field. Sky-high pop-up out in front of the warning track. It'll stay in the yard for Colby Koslowski to make the catch for the second out. A tough break. Scott just getting under that one, Parker. Barreled it well, is seeing it well.
It carried,
O'Donnell, And now with 2 down, it'll be up to Rutledge Feltel.
I know last we checked, the wind was about 8 miles an hour. I think it's picked up just a little bit, blowing out of the northeast.
It's a bit chillier. Now, you and I have our winter coats on.
We do.
Which I was not going to expect to say that on May 2nd.
Not at all.
When you're out in the elements, sometimes you just got to prepare for everything. That's what I like to say. And you and I both came prepared here this evening as the first pitch to Feltel misses low for ball 1.
We sure did. I knew I was going to be calling a few more ball games before the year was up. I've been in the process of packing all of my things. You know, school ends next Thursday. Been packing all my stuff, packed all of my clothes. I think about a week and a half ago, and I had my jacket laying out. I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep it out just to see, because you never know. Illinois throws curveballs all the time, especially when it comes to weather.
It does. I've been donning the polo and shorts combo throughout the week, but here I am, jeans and a jacket here on this Friday night. No better scene, though, for Friday night baseball here in the CCIW as Feltel ahead in the count here at 2 balls and a strike. It really doesn't get much better than this. You don't get a lot of Friday night action. You'll see some Friday afternoon ball games.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
getting it under the lights here, senior day, final weekend of the season as the 2-1 misses upstairs for ball 3 on the Thunder designated hitter.
It's just a beautiful thing. The only thing that you could ask for is a little bit more sunshine, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain. We had a little good sunshine this afternoon.
Yeah, it got warm. I was able to get outside throughout the afternoon. I was like, hey, I might not need the jacket here this evening. And, oh, no, I'm glad I brought it. As the count now full on Feltel, fouling away the 3-1. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jack Gill, the runner at first. He'll be taking off on the pitch.
I didn't get to get the full extent of the sunlight today. I was locked inside, grinding away for finals.
Yeah.
You hate to see it, but you love to hear about it.
It is the life of a college student athlete. Here's the payoff pitch. Feltel popped it up. First base side, foul territory, and Niebregi camping underneath it to make the catch and retire the side. Thunder leave a 1-out single from Jack Gill out on the bases. We're a third of the way home here in Carroll Stream. 2-0 remains the score. For the second time here in the ball game for the Big Blue, it'll be the 6, 7, 8 spots leading off. Ty Cribbett, the left-handed hitting third baseman. He doubled and scored back in the second. 2-0 Big Blue, top of the fourth. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers back here with you. In Carroll Stream is a nice breaking ball from Nate Burton. Gets us going here in the frame. Count beginning 0-1.
See if Burden can kind of shake off that last inning. He had a good inning. Other than that balk, we didn't really see what exactly the ump called, but allowed a run to come through.
Yeah, Big Blue have plated a run in each of the last 2 frames. Last inning, on the third, it was on a 1-out double from Tyler Gade. As you mentioned, scoring on that balk is the 0-2 in there for strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. A 3-pitch punch-out. Ty Cribbett gets us going here in the 4th.
Is that a Truman Show reference, or is it just something you say?
Just something I say. That's a good reference to that, though. Yeah, that is a good one. Truman Show.
It's a great movie. I think people don't give it enough credit because Jim Carrey, he's the comedian, but Truman Show is one of those more kind of serious roles that he has.
It's funny enough. I'll say this: the 2 times I've watched it, both in an educational setting, both in college.
Really?
Yes. It's the 1-0. Misses up and in. 2 balls, no strikes. The count. And due up right now in the Millikin order, that is Blake Van Beers, the designated hitter. Yeah, both times at both different schools that I went to.
What's the education behind the Truman Show?
One of them was a mass communication class. The other was an ethics class, which I think would make a lot more sense. The
ethics does make sense.
The ethics one made a lot more sense. 2 on the count. Beers in the air to shallow right center field, drawing out the second baseman, Noah Yee, to make the catch. 2 up, 2 down for the Thunder here in the 4th.
That's exactly what Burden wants. Couple short pitch innings. So I guess the mass communication can come into play because, Truman's being broadcast to the whole world.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That was the first time I watched it my back-to-back school years, my sophomore and my junior year. Left down, lefty battle. First pitch to Colby Kozlowski, tapped on the ground, foul down the first base line. I love that you pulled that reference out, though. That is That is great. Not a lot of people, I think a lot of people have seen the movie, but not as many people are able to pull that specific reference just because it's so early in the movie as Kozlowski chasing away at the 0-1 count now, 0-2 on the Big Blue right fielder.
Yeah, it is. So I like movies a lot. It's early in the movie. You see it like in the opening sequence, but then at the very end, as Truman leaves the big dome.
And he got him looking.
Wow. He says it again as he leaves at the end of the movie. Nice little roundabout kind of finish there, but what an inning for Burden there.
1, 2, 3, a hammer to retire this side. We head to the home half of the fourth. It is 2-0 Big Blue here in Carroll Stream. We get a lefty-lefty battle to begin the bottom of the fourth. Score remains 2-0 Millikin in this series opener on Senior Day here in Carroll Stream. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers here with you. Both left-handers, Parker cruising right along. Zach O'Donnell back out in the bottom of the fourth. He'll begin the inning against Braden Engel.
Yeah, O'Donnell with 2 strikeouts and Burden with 5. They both have had good games so far.
The first pitch swinging Engel on the ground to second. There is Elliott Fulcher for the 4-3 putout. 1 pitch, 1 out here for O'Donnell in the fourth.
You know, I never understood the term southpaw. This is going to go back to movies. I never understood the term southpaw until I saw the movie Southpaw, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. I didn't know what the heck that meant. Only then did I realize it was a term for somebody who's a lefty.
Dude, I love the term. I go to it all the time.
It's a good one.
My favorite baseball terms is Peyton McLowry steps in and takes a first pitch strike. I'm not a Sox fan. I'm a Cubs fan. But growing up in the Chicagoland area around the White Sox and the Cubs, that's their mascot, Southpaw. So I always get familiar with that, and they kept calling him Southpaw. And eventually one day when I had my computer at home and I finally knew what I was doing and how to use it, I was like, I want to look this up.
What does it mean?
What is the meaning there? Like, oh, it means lefty. I'm like, all right.
So, you know, speaking of the Sox, did you see their new City Connect uniforms?
Yeah. Oh, I got a good chuckle out of those. Is the 1-0.
I think they're kind of sick.
Too.
I like them.
I'm just obviously not a Sox fan. I just think I think it's more of a funny thing from the higher ups making them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was my take on it. It's definitely interesting, and it was very predictable when they announced it at a Bulls game a few weeks before dropping those. As the 1-2 to McLowry misses off the plate. And I love that in baseball, and I'm seeing that not necessarily at any type of level in college, but I love alternate uniforms in general.
I do too.
And I think we're seeing that here. Millikin's got their all blacks.
I was going to comment on the all blacks. Those are slick.
The classic Wheaton home pinstripes as the 2-2 McLowry popped up shallow right, drawing out the second baseman Fulcher. He's made both plays here in the bottom of the fourth.
McLowry's another one of those seniors. You know, it's senior night, as we've mentioned. He has played in 46 games in his Thunder career, including a career-high 29 games this season. He has a career-best 267, batting average with 8 stolen bases, 13 runs scored, and 16 RBIs.
2 down on the bases empty here for Chris Lynham. A big cut and a miss on the first offering. Doubled in the second in a pretty unconventional way. A hot shot over to third, and Ty Cribbett ate him up, caught him right in the shin. Ricocheted down the left field line, allowing Lynham to get to second. Good to see Cribbett is all right as the 0-1 just misses the outside corner to even the count at a ball and a strike. That's just 1 of 3 hits for the Thunder here this evening. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Big Blue. No runs on those 3 hits, and no errors for the Thunder.
You know, when it comes to the conversation of alternate uniforms, going back to baseball, I liked the Sox. I liked their alternate uniforms. I like the City Connects, but are they good enough to even warrant, like, that much of a buzz or response? I don't think so. Same thing goes with the Rockies. The Rockies dropped their alternates. It just looks like 80s Taco Bell. Yeah.
A lot of them are too busy. And I mean, I'm biased because I'm a Cubs fan.
Of course.
I love
the Wrigleyville.
So they got the new Baby Blues.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those. The Wrigleyville, I was okay.
Those were all right.
They grew on me over time, but the Baby Blues, huge fan of Baby Blue concepts in general. As the 2-2 is in the air to left, coming over Kozlowski in the gap to make the catch and retire this side. We go 6 up, 6 down on both sides here in the fourth. We're already on to the fifth here at Lee Pfund Stadium. 2-0 remains the score in favor of the Big Blue. Hayden Stork leading off the top of the fifth. We're already top 5 in this series opener on Senior Day at Lee Pfund Stadium. Nate Burden back to work, and immediately a cut and a miss from Stork to begin the count 0-1. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers back here with you on the broadcast. Parker, we're cruising right along.
We are cruising, and Burden's coming out hot. He's also cruising.
Just misses on that really sharp-looking breaking ball to even the count at 1-1. Him and Zach O'Donnell 6 up, 6 down in the fourth.
I think it's about time to take the sunglasses off. The sun has been absent for the better part of 45 minutes here.
The wind is picking up as well. Like I said, we've bundled up. We prepared accordingly here for this evening's broadcast. 1-2 the count on Stork, and he chases for strike 3.
Quick work there for Burden. He's going to need a couple more of those, quick work at bats, just for longevity's sake. I know I've said this before, but Coach Husted hoping to get just a little bit more out of Burden tonight as they go into this series against Millikin. Don't want to burn too many relief pitchers in the first game.
He's a quick worker, is Burden. As the top of the order for the Big Blue, third time around, a first pitch strike to Liam McGill on the inside corner. 4 of the last 5 batters Burden has retired, been via strikeouts. He settled in nicely, just missing off the plate on that 0-1 fastball.
Yeah, he had me fooled there. Thought that one was a little bit closer than it was.
Just missing downstairs. Back-to-back balls out of the hand of Burden. 2 balls to strike the count now on McGill, who was 0 for 2 in the ballgame last time up. A fly out to left field to end the second. A swing and a miss evens the count at 2-2. Half a dozen strikeouts for Burden in the 18 hitters that he's faced. O'Donnell on the other side, pitching more to contact. He's K'd 2 as the 2-2 hit on the ground, left side, coming over to get it. The third baseman, Hedlund, is throw to first.
Safe.
Line him off the bag. It is a base runner aboard here for the Big Blue with 1 out. In the top of the order, as mentioned, in full effect in the 5th frame.
Yeah, Hedlund kind of leading that one off of first base. Wasn't able to get the catch and tag there.
See how it's scored. It is going to be an error.
That's unfortunate.
A throwing error on Hedlund. It's a runner aboard. Sam Busher 0 for 1 in his 2 plate appearances. Walked in the first, led off the third with a fly out to Braden Engel in center field. He's ahead here 1-0. Burden out of the stretch, first base side of the rubber. Goes fastball, shot in the air, hit well in the right center gap. Both outfielders giving chase, unable to make the play is McClowry. It'll one-hop the wall. Motoring around third is McGill. The cutoff throw to the infield will not be made in time to go to the plate. 3-0 Big Blue, and on third with a 1-out triple is Sam Busher.
And that one just hit right to the gap. McClowry not fast enough to get there. He tried to go for it. But his outstretched arms, and McClowry's a tall guy. He's got a big wingspan. He just wasn't able to get there in time. Neither was Engel. So a nice triple there. Pushes a run through.
Went out for Tyler Gade. Just like that, corner's in, middle's back for the Thunder. First pitch swinging, can't connect, it's 0-1. Busher now 40 runs driven in this season. That's just his second triple. And I think we talked about this as well, leading Millikin in a lot of offensive statistical categories, leading in RBIs, average, OPS, you name it. And a nice breaking ball there on the inside corner from Burden makes it 0-2 on Tyler Gade.
Yeah, no better time to get your second triple of the year than in the final series of the regular season. Driving in a run.
Count now. And a ball and 2 strikes, just missing low to Gade. Busher entering today a .385 hitter in 37 games, an OPS just north of 1,000. Has 12 doubles. The 1-2 to Gade, back to the mound. It'll get past Burden. The only play there is Gill to first. A 6-3 put out and an RBI for Gade makes it 4-0 Big Blue.
Yeah, lucky that one didn't hop too high off the mound. You know, we got these turf mounds susceptible to some different variety of hops, especially if it's barreled off onto the mound like it just was.
The Andy Nieberge with the bases empty and 2 down, swinging away at the first pitch, tapped foul on the ground down the third base side. Nieberge 0 for 2 here in the ballgame. So 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and now 2 here in the fifth to give the Big Blue a 4-run cushion. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Nieberge chasing the high heat. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes.
That was a good pitch by Burden right there.
Is looking to limit the damage, get out of it here at the 0-2 offering. This is low. We look at the Wheaton order at the bottom of the fifth. It'll be 8-9-1, Luke Ham, Nathan Hedlund, Noah Yee. All right-handed bats due up against Zach O'Donnell.
See if they can get hot and start something going into the bottom of the fifth.
Burden missing low again. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes with the bags empty.
Yeah, Burden getting a little bit antsy there on the mound, trying to find, you know, his rhythm against this batter. That's Nieberge.
The next 2 strike delivery misses low from 0-2 to full here on Nieberge. A .920 OPS entering play today. Has 9 doubles and 28 runs driven in this season. Out of the windup, Burden's payoff pitch. A breaking ball that misses low and in. The inning continues. Nieberge aboard for the first time in this ball game, extending the frame for Elliot Fulsher. Fulsher also 0 for 2 in the contest. The junior from Darien hits in his last 4 games, including a 3-hit effort against Elmhurst. Swinging away at the first pitch, in the air to left. Coming in is James Scott to make the catch and retire this side. 1 left on for Millikin. They plate a pair. It is now 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the fifth here at Lee Pfund Stadium.
Catcher number 0, Luke.
8-9-1 spots here in the bottom of the fifth. Big Blue add 2 more here in the first of this 3-game series. 4-0 the score. Luke Ham, another one of these seniors honored today here at Lee Pfund Stadium, leading it off. The first pitch from Zach O'Donnell misses up and away for ball 1. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers back here with you. Parker, a couple of big runs for Millikin in the top half of the frame. get a nice 4-run cushion for their left-hander who's cruising right along here this evening.
Yeah, a couple big runs, especially off that stand-up triple. That was big time. That was the second triple. Remind me again who hit that. Wasn't Cribbett? Don't tell me. It was Gate. Busher? Gate?
It was Busher.
It was Busher. Yeah, Busher's second triple of the season. Best time to hit it, especially as you're, getting a larger lead, now leading 4-0 over the Thunder here in the bottom of the fifth.
O'Donnell's 1-2 to Ham is bounced in to even the count. Ham 0 for 1 popped out to his catching counterpart, Hayden Stork, back in the second. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Big Blue. No runs on 3 hits and an error for the Thunder as the 2-2. Slow roller on the ground to third, charging in. Cribbett gloves, and his throw to first is in time. On a hop picked out by Nieberge, and the leadoff batter retired here in the fifth.
Can we send that one to New York?
That was a close play at first.
Boy. Actually, what would it be here? Can we send that one to Chicago?
The local
Can we get a check here? Barstool, somebody, please.
Already at the 9th spot in the order. It was a close play at first.
It was close.
We've had a few of those already here tonight. Nathan Hedlund went down looking against O'Donnell back in the second to retire the side. First pitch to him misses up and away for ball 1. We got to the top of the Big Blue order for the third time in the ball game. In the top half of this fifth frame, we'll get to the top of the Thunder order here with Noah Yee on deck. A 1-0 pitch perfectly placed by O'Donnell for strike 1. We'll see what Hedlund's got for him here, trying to flip the card to Yee. Thunder looking for their first base runner in the last couple of innings. As a cut and a miss on the 1-1 makes it a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I know Hedlund would love to get on base, try to get himself into scoring position with Yee coming up.
The 1-2 lined in through into right field for a base hit. Busher will pick it up and throw it in. Nate Hedlund, a big base knock with 1 down here in the fifth.
Yeah, that one was just lasered off the bat. Kind of hit low a little bit, able to roll through the gap. Gets him in a good position for Yee to come up and drive him around, maybe get him into second or third. Yee's been really good so far this year. Second on the team in batting average.
Yee already with a hit in the ball game. He's 1 for 2 at that base hit to get things started back in the bottom of the first. O'Donnell set. First pitch breaking ball to him is in there for strike 1. A lot of first pitch strikes out of the hand of Zach O'Donnell here this evening. The Thunder preparing accordingly for him, having just 2 left-handers in the lineup tonight. Prior to the 0-1 to pick off, move over to first to check in on Hedlund. So scoring in 3 of the last 4 innings have been the Big Blue. But despite the 4-run lead, Parker, Nate Burton's looked good.
Yeah, Burton has looked good.
His stuff has been on. He's got half a dozen strikeouts as the 0-1 breaking ball misses at the top of the zone to even the count here on the Thunder second baseman.
He's got half a dozen strikeouts and only 2 earned runs, I believe.
Yeah, and the throwing error from Hedlund in the top of this inning. Definitely hindering things for Wheaton. Still plenty of ball left to be played, though. The opener of the series this evening. A couple looks to first. The 1-1 is right at the knees and a called strike. Noah Yee not a fan of that call, but he'll go to battle here down 1-2.
Yeah, that one was a bit low. I think the catcher might have done a decent job framing that one. But the umpire's up there, and we're back here for a reason.
The 2-strike delivery misses high. Another evened up count here on Yee. Third time up to the plate in this ball game. Last time up at the top of the third, grounded out to the shortstop, Liam McGill. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Hedlund, the runner, on first. O'Donnell rocks and fires. Is bounced foul down the first base line.
You know, it's one of my favorite things about baseball is when a batter makes the pitcher pitch to him, and he stays alive at the plate. That's what we see Yee doing right here. Oh, I felt a drop of rain.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the area we've been seeing some rain, so we'll see, and we'll keep all of you posted as well. The conditions in Carroll Stream. Full count here on Yee. You were talking about making pitchers pitch. I think there are guys in both of these orders that do a really good job of that, and we've seen it so far this evening.
We sure have.
Good lead for Hedlund at first. See if he takes off. The payoff pitch. He goes for second. In there for strike 3, and the throw down to get Hedlund is in time. An inning ending, strike him out, throw him out, double play. Zach O'Donnell faces the minimum, and we are through 5 innings of play. 4-0 Big Blue here in Carroll Stream. The top of the 6th, Nate Burden back to work, and for the 3rd time in this ball game, he'll face the 6, 7, 8 spots in this Big Blue order. Ty Cribbett leading off, first pitch missing low for ball 1. Thunder setting the minimum to the plate in the bottom of the 5th, an inning-ending strike him out, throw him out, double play with Noah Yee in the right-handed batter's box. Keeps the score at 4-0 in favor of the visitors. Alongside Parker Rogers, I'm Andy Ockham, welcoming you back to the broadcast, and Cribbett's ahead here, 2 balls and no strikes on the Thunder left-hander.
You know, Andy, we were talking in between innings there if throwing out a runner was the hardest thing to do. I have another question for you. What's more satisfying as a defender, a regular double play or a strike him out, throw him out double play? I would have to go, just me personally as a spectator, strike him out, throw him out.
Strike him out, throw him out for sure, I'd say, just because they don't happen as often as a routine 4-6-3, 6-4-3. I would say I get more satisfaction, even though it was against the Thunder in the bottom of the 5th. There's a clean strike him out, throw him out double play is very satisfying to watch as the 3-1 misses low and away. Ty Cribbett aboard for the 2nd time here in this ball game.
You know, you like to see Burden going fast and keeping up pace, but sometimes you might wonder if it's a little too fast, if he's not letting himself get set in a way that you know, is beneficial to him. You know, you want to keep the batter on their toes.
The freshman has a tone to him, right?
He does.
He works quick, and that's what, you know, has been good for him this season, even here this evening, despite the scoreboard reading differently. A nice first pitch breaking ball.
Yeah, that one had some movement on it.
He's got a good 12-6 hammer, does Nate Burden. Van Beers out of the 7 spot, 0 for 2 here in the series opener. Showing bunt on the 0-1. Another breaking ball from Burden. This one is, I was going to say fouled away. It was called a strike, though, so I don't think contact was made. It was off the glove of Ham. Either way, runner stays put at first. Count 0-2 now. The bottom 3rd here of this Big Blue order for the 3rd time around. Colby Kozlowski on deck as the 0-2 from Burton is in there for a called 3rd strike. Van Beers down looking. Strikeout number 7 for Burton is the first out in the top of the 6th.
I don't think Van Beers is too happy about that one. He seemed to think that one painted inside a little bit.
And just like that, Burton potential pitch away from getting out of the frame. Colby Kozlowski 0 for 1 in his 2 plate appearances this evening. Takes ball 1 high. Hit by a pitch back in the 2nd. Was the last batter to bat in the 4th. Went down looking to retire the side, part of a 1-2-3 inning for Burton. The 1-0, a swinging bunt down the first base line. It'll roll foul for Chris Lindum to touch it. Count even 1-1 here.
There's some finesse that you need to have when you bunt the ball. Like, I never played baseball, but I can recognize as an athlete just how hard it is to get a good bunt rolling. Something that just kind of creeps down, you know, the foul line, creeps up. I know a lot of guys want to creep it up the third base line. A lot of guys would care to hit it towards the mound.
No bunt being shown here. I think it depends on what side of the plate you're hitting from and what the situation is. Sometimes you're just trying to bunt a guy over. If you're trying to bunt for a hit, you're always going to put it down the third base line. There are different types of bunts in different types of situations. It's definitely gone away from the game. It is a very much a finesse thing. Fouled off there from Kozlowski. Count now 2-2. Definitely small ball is not as much of a brand as we've been seeing in years prior, decades prior as well.
And you hate to see it. I love small ball.
We go over to the softball side of things to see it a lot
True.
more as the 2-2 fastball just misses inside. Burden wanted to know where that one missed.
Counts full now.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and out, and the leadoff man who drew a walk as well, and Ty Cribbett on first. Burden set out the stretch, the payoff pitch, breaking ball on the ground, right side. Yee to his left, makes a sliding play, can't get the throw out, it creeps up the line. Lynham gloves it, his throw to third to try and get the runner there, not in time. Everybody is safe, and they're on the corners for Millikin with 1 down.
Yeah, a bit of an errant throw there from Yee. I thought he would have just held the runners up, but his throw over to Lynham just kind of got away from Lynham. Well, he just wasn't in the area.
Infield single for Kozlowski, a second time on the bases here this evening. It brings up the right-handed hitting catcher Hayden Stork, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs. Prior to this, though, a meeting at the mound. Another big spot here, already a 4-run Millikin lead. We'll get the final 2 games of this series and the regular season for both squads here tomorrow afternoon. It was originally supposed to be in Decatur, as we've mentioned a couple of times on the broadcast, but if you're a fan of either one of these teams tuning in, you need to know which stream to lock in on tomorrow. It'll be here at Lee Pfund Stadium. We'll see. I don't believe this will be the last time we see Burden throw a pitch in this ball game. We haven't seen a motion to the bullpen yet. But that's how the regular season will conclude for the Thunder, both in general and in conference action here tomorrow.
I felt another drop of rain there.
I felt a few as well, sir.
Time for a little middle school meteorology lesson here. I see these cumulonimbus clouds flying in, little darker shade. I don't know which direction it's coming from. I'm not directionally challenged. It's just I don't know which direction they're coming in from. The wind is blowing east-northeast. The wind, it has picked up. We see the light over here. What is that? It's to our right. Clouds blowing in from the left. Keep it simple. Had to throw up the hands there.
We do have some dark skies. Lights are out, though. This is what's awesome. We talked about this earlier in the broadcast. Friday Night Lights. Stork, a hot shot to third off the glove of Headland. It'll get by him. The throw to first is in time to get Stork for out number 2. But another run in to score. It is 5-0 Big Blue.
Not sure Headland was entirely ready for that one. He had the glove down and just couldn't clamp on in time.
It's the second hot shot we've had over at third base. First one against Wheaton. And it's back to the top of their order with Liam McGill, a runner on 2nd and 2 down as the rain continues to spit here. McGill, the leadoff man, 4th time in the order, reached on an error an inning ago and came around to score. Swinging at the first pitch, line to third, and Headland makes the grab to retire this side.
He was ready for it that time.
Another run comes across here in the 6th for the Big Blue. It's 5-0 Millikin as we head to the last of the frame. Two, 3, 4 spots due up for the Big Blue here in the bottom of the 6th. Game's not even an hour and a half old, and we're almost 2/3 of the way through. 5-0 Big Blue. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers back here with you. Parker, another run for the Big Blue in the top of the inning as the first pitch to Jack Gill. Lined into right field for a base hit, his 2nd hit of the ball game.
Yeah, another multiple hit game for Gill. Gill's one of those guys who has several multiple hit games this year, just leading off the bottom of the 6th, exactly where you want to be. Get on base and get your power hitters up to try to drive you home.
It'll be James Scott now. The right-handed hitting left fielder, 0 for 2 in the ball game, looking to get his first knock. Thunder going to try and scratch away here. A few more cracks at it. And a liner foul down the first base side and out of play off the bat of Scott. Gets him going in his 3rd plate appearance of this contest. So for the Thunder, they've left a few runners on in some important spots. Nate Burden, the freshman, getting the start, and he's had good stuff here this evening. Just a couple of extra base hits from the Thunder have come back to get him. They count even at 1-1.
You know, Andy, you and I have both been around the CCIW for a long time. I think we've had this conversation before. I've had this conversation with a lot of people. What is a Big Blue?
I don't know. When I've been there, because I've been a Decatur,
Of course.
both as an athlete, as a broadcaster for numerous sports, baseball, basketball, football. I haven't seen a mascot of any.
I haven't either.
When I've been there. I know, and I try, especially on these airways, not to utter this too much. As a North Central alum, we have our mascot. We got Chippy the Cardinal.
He's a nice Cardinal.
Across the league.
We like Wheaton. We're the Wheaton Thunder, but we have Perry the Mastodon.
Right.
Or I can never hammer down the name. I know one of the Mastodon's names is Perry, and the other one is Tor. So I'm going to stick with Perry because that's the main one, I think.
Yeah. Be a 5-pitch walk to James Scott. He's on the bags with nobody out. Our opportunity. Rutledge Feltel to hit with 2 aboard, and the mound visit here to come. First time we have a conversation at the Hill for the Big Blue here this afternoon, the series opener, the evening. So accustomed to saying afternoon, we've gotten into the evening now.
Yeah,
just past or just out in front of 7:30. 5 runs on 4 hits, no errors for the Big Blue. If you're just joining us, no runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Thunder. It is spinning a bit more now. We're okay.
We're good.
We won't melt. We promise. We'll be all right.
Are you familiar? Are you familiar with the McDonald's cast of characters, Annie?
You're gonna need to give me more
the
than that.
Hamburglar.
Oh yes.
When I think of the Big Blue, I think of Grimace, but blue.
Yes.
That's what I think of.
That is a great comp.
Just a furry blob of blue.
Yeah, I was thinking, or the Western Kentucky Hilltop.
Oh, the Hilltopper, yeah.
I thought of a blue version of that. That's what came to mind for me. As Feltel climbing in, he's 0 for 1.
Millikin missed a great opportunity. I think it's the University of St. Louis. They're the St. Louis Billikens.
Billikens, yeah.
Millikin.
The
Millikin Billikens. Yep.
I think as broadcasters, that would have messed us up
It could
entirely
have.
too much. I think I'm kind of thankful that's not the case for them. 1-0 the count on Feltel. Was hit by a pitch back in the first. O'Donnell rocks and fires. This is low. Good block from Stork working behind home. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Rudd. Yeah, the Millikin Billikens. Try saying
that 10 times fast.
Man. Oh man, I would not do well in that exercise.
You see, so I grew up doing musical theater, and one of the things that we had to do as rehearsal, pre-show prep was do all these tongue twisters.
Okay.
So I got decent in my young age doing tongue twisters, but I think repeating Millikin Billiken so many times during a broadcast, I would be so susceptible to just slipping up. The Billiken Millikins, or saying whatever. The Millie Billies.
The Millikin Millikins, the Billiken Billikins, you get them all. 3-1 the count on Feltel. Last time up, he popped out to Andy Nieberge over at first. And he takes strike 2 low, ditched the bat 2 right before the strike was called. Count full now on the Thunder designated hitter, and the Wheaton fans in attendance here at Lee Pfund Stadium not thrilled with that call behind home plate.
Yeah, not at all. That one looked like it got a little low. Again, I'm thinking the framing is pretty good here.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The base is empty and nobody out. First 2 aboard here for the Thunder. The payoff pitch popped up straight foul. Will do the 3-2 again.
That's another one of those kind of lost arts in baseball is this idea of framing the pitches.
Yeah. You see a minor league baseball now coming up. They got the automatic balls and strike system. So when you get these minor league catchers coming up to the big leagues, they're not as strong at framing because they haven't had to lean on that in the minors as much as the next 3-2. This is low and in for ball 4. Just like that, the base is loaded.
No outs.
6th with nobody out, and I believe we're going to have a call to the bullpen here on the visiting side.
Do you agree with the use of technology in that, in that aspect with the automatic balls and strikes?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
It is.
No more Angel Hernandez's?
I think it should be a cap, though. You shouldn't have it be, you should have like we saw in spring training, a couple of challenges, and that is all. End of the line here. The left-hander, Zach O'Donnell. He'll exit with the bases loaded and nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. The big turning point potentially in this game for the Thunder. 5-0 the score. We'll be back in a couple of minutes following this pitching change here in Carroll Stream. Nolan Ryman, the new pitcher into the ball game, going with a right-hander here with the bases loaded. And nobody out the bottom of the sixth. 5-0 Big Blue. Andy Ock and Parker Rogers returning to you here on the broadcast. Potential big turning point in this
Could
game
be.
here, Parker.
It very well could be. We got the back half of the Wheaton lineup.
First pitch swinging. Foul territory down the third baseline there to make the catch. Ty Crivet. That's a big first out for the Big Blue here in the sixth.
I blame the announcer curse right there, saying it could be something big. Just a fly out right there in foul territory.
Raymond's been lights out this year. The right-hander, 39 in the third innings pitched. He's made 16 appearances, this being number 17. All have been in relief. 1-1 record, a 1.60 ERA and a 1.14 WHIP across those 39 in the third innings pitched. Rain coming down a bit harder, still spitting, so my scorecard in front of me, a bit wet here. The first pitch to the right-handed hitting Peyton McClowery's in for strike one.
I'll say this, and I've had this as a senior in college. I've had this several times so far this year. These are the type of memories that you remember.
Oh yeah. 0-1 in the air, foul territory down the right field line. It'll get out of play. Count now 0-2 with the bags loaded and 1 out.
We had a practice one day, a football practice one day, and it was, I mean, flash flood level rain.
You'll get that.
The turf was soaked. There was puddles. We were sliding around. We were just having a good time. And unfortunately, it was one of those days where it started off a little cold. So I was wearing sweatpants. Ooh, bad day to wear sweatpants. But I just took a moment. I looked and I observed, and I'm like, man, this is what I'm going to remember.
Ryman misses up and away. It's the things you're always going to remember and take with you once you leave Wheaton College here. 1-2 the count on McClowery. And I was going to say as well with Ryman going over his numbers, how much he's worked this year. The Big Blue coaching staff, they're not fooling around. They are not wasting any time here, bringing in some of their best out of the stable as the 1-2 is fouled off.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the 1.6 ERA, he's 1-1 with this is being his 17th appearance, and he has 4 saves.
He's being entered with 1 out in the 6th, so it could be an extended trip out on the mound for Ryman here this evening. Sharply hit on the ground, the 1-2 to short, to second for 1, and the throw to first is in time. Nolan Ryman with the bases loaded and nobody out, works out of the frame, an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. The Thunder remain off the board as we're 2/3 of the way home here in Carroll Stream. 5-0 the score as we head to the top of the 7th. It'll be the 2, 3, 4 spots due up here in the top of the 7th. How about that inning-ending double play? Nolan Ryman coming out of the bullpen with the bases loaded, nobody out, works out of the jam. Score remains 5-0 Antioch. Parker Rogers back here with you in Carroll Stream. The first pitch to Sam Busher from Billy Kessler, the right-hander entering the ballgame, misses up and in for ball one. Parker, a tough end to that sixth frame for the Thunder.
Now that was rough. I'm not gonna lie. Bases loaded, no outs, and then the Big Blue able to escape with no runs scored. You know, Nolan Ryman kind of makes me think of Nolan Ryan a little bit. You know, got to be a good pitcher with a name sounding so similar to one of the all-time greats.
Looking at Kessler this year, a 3.8 ERA, making his 11th appearance as Busher sends the 1-1 up the middle for a base hit. His second hit of the ballgame and his third time on base.
Yeah, I think that one scared Kessler just a little bit. He kind of tried to hop out of the way there. Kessler, obviously the freshman from San Clemente, went to Capistrano Valley Christian School.
If you are just joining us, rain is spitting here in Carroll Stream. We're getting through it. If you could see my scorecard right now, it is a mess. It is a mess, unfortunately. It is soaked. But that's okay. We carry on. The show must go on. It's not about us. It's about the guys on the field right now, and it is senior day here at Lee Pfund Stadium this evening. Unfortunately, the Thunder trailing 5-0. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors. For the Big Blue, no runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. For Wheaton, Kessler facing Tyler Gade, and the first pitch to him misses downstairs for ball one.
Some would say, for the love of the game.
Yeah, I was telling you in between innings, I normally like to keep my scorecards even just for the sake of having them, remembering certain games. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this one. This one is pretty mush. The ink of my pens are starting to bleed through. Runner takes off the 1-0. Misses for a ball. Throw down to second from Ham is on the money.
Wow.
And the tag is applied to Busher in time.
Way to do it, Ham.
That is another one of those seniors. Luke Ham firing one in for the first out of the frame. And you can even see it now. You can see the back half of the other inning. It's bleeding. It's a mess. This is bad. But it's okay.
Yeah, have fun writing on that one.
It's
I'll have fun looking at all the stats on these translucent pages now.
The 2-0 misses low out. 3 balls, no strikes on Gade. You know what? It's fine that it's happened now in the 7th.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not only, but we have a third of the game left. We were able to get through the first 2/3 pretty much okay. This rain started hitting around the 5th.
Yeah, it was, a little bit, spitting very lightly in the 5th, had a couple drops here and there, and then now it's, a little more even in the amount of kind of misty, spitty kind of rain that we're getting here. This is probably my least favorite type of rain. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'll agree with you because it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying. I'll agree with you there. Count 3-1. Kessler rocks and fires. Gade popped up in the air, deep into left, back out in front of the wall is Scott. Did he make that catch as he crashed into the wall? I believe he did.
If he held on to that, man.
Scott is down in left field. Did he make that catch? Yes, he did.
Oh, my goodness. Way to be Scott. Holy cow. He crashed into the wall there.
Making sure James Scott is all right. That is one heck of a play for the second out of the inning.
It doesn't. This fence isn't padded like we see some other outfields, have some padding on them. So he just ran right into that kind of chain link fence.
That's a great play and a round of applause from the Thunder faithful down the third baseline. 2 down here in the 7th. And Kessler looking to face the minimum here in this frame. Andy Nieberge, the right-handed, hitting third baseman to step in.
So, Andy, obviously you're a pitcher. What do you do in a situation where it's kind of spitting rain like this in order to keep your hands from getting, overly wet?
I'm annoyed, first and foremost.
Okay,
is my first presence in my response to that. But, no, it's always you're wiping wiping your pant leg. You normally go into your back pocket as well. It's obviously really dry in your back pocket when you pull out the inside of your back pocket just to try and have it as dry as humanly possible. I know from a football standpoint, quarterbacks will have their towels.
Yeah, they got the little
with them.
towel going.
Obviously, a pitcher, not necessarily normal to have a towel out on the mound, even if it's behind you, as the 0-1 misses to even the count. So, yeah, it's more or less you just keep wiping your pant leg. You get in that back pocket as well. Then the big thing is always never be afraid to ask for a new baseball.
Okay.
You can be as annoying as possible, but it's one of those, if it's slick, you don't want to throw it. So as much as you need for a new baseball, that's when you ask for it. As the 1-1 bounced on the ground to short, Gills got it, and Kessler faces the minimum here in the 7th. It's stretch time in Carroll Stream. Score remains 5-0 Millikin. Here, we'll be back for the home half of the frame momentarily. It is 7-8-9 due up here for the Thunder. Post stretch, bottom 7. We did not have a rendition of the 7th inning stretch amongst the rainy crowd in attendance. The Big Blue taking on the Thunder, the opener of this 3-game series to conclude the regular season. Chris Lynham, first pitch swinging in the air to left, out in front of the warning track. Colby Koslowski to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Nolan Ryman, his first full inning of work here in the bottom of the 7th. As we look across the stands here, people getting their umbrellas out. I will say, Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers back here with you on the broadcast. Parker, the rain, it is getting a bit lighter here. It's not as bad as what we've had the last couple of innings. Still this annoying spitting rain as Luke Ham comes up empty, swinging and missing the first offering from Ryman here. Just trying to keep everything dry. I know we got our mixer inside now. That's good. Control our audio levels, keep us on the air. As Ham fouls away the 0-1 count, now 0-2 on the Wheaton catcher.
Yeah, shout out Kyle. Thanks for controlling us and keeping us good and the mixer dry in there. I will say this is the reason that the doubleheader tomorrow got moved down here to Carroll Stream. There's bad weather on the forecast. Hopefully we're just isolated here today to this little kind of spitting rain, and it doesn't do anything precarious tomorrow.
The 0-2 on the outside corner in there. First strike 3, a 3-pitch punch out of Lamb. Quickly 2 up, 2 down for Ryman in the bottom of the 7th. It brings up Nate Hedlund. Base hit his last time up. It was back in the 5th. 1 for 2 in the ball game as he takes ball 1 low. Yeah, to your point, always trying to get out in front of the weather, especially conference action, and even more so late in the season. There's not really time to make these games up.
No, not at all.
Hedlund ahead in the count here at 2-0.
Especially Wheaton, we have this rule where we're not allowed to have any sports competition, any sports-centered thing on Sundays. As you know, Christian University, it's the Sabbath. We're not allowed to do anything on Sundays, because I know a lot of schools around the CCIW, like for football, for example, a lot of schools will come in on Sundays and they'll
JV games and stuff.
Yeah, right? they'll do JV games, and then they'll do film for varsity games and everything on Sundays.
A 4-pitch walk drawn by Hedlund. He's aboard for the second time this ball game with 2 down to the 7th. Flips the card back to the order with Noah Yee. But as you were saying, no competitions. I do remember that. I remember my freshman year, dating myself. This is 4 years ago now, not too far away, as Noah Yee takes ball 1 low and away. We were in the play-in game for the conference tournament in baseball against Wheaton, and it was on Monday. It had to be on Monday.
That's got to be so annoying.
Which I was more than okay with it. Got me a Sunday off as the 1-0 breaking ball's in there for strike 1 on Yee. But yes, no, I was aware of that and that rule. It makes things interesting with doubleheaders, but even so, I don't think there's a lot of conference action in general on Sunday. They're trying to have everything done by Saturday. Yee fouls off the 1-1 to make the count a ball and 2 strikes.
And, that's why we have all these doubleheaders on Saturdays, which I'm not going to complain about. I don't mind a good Saturday doubleheader.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first, bottom of the 7th. Ryman misses upstairs. The count evens again here on Yee. Drove in a run. I should say, went down swing, and that was the strike him out, throw him out double play back in the 5th. Did have a base hit to start the ball game offensively for the Thunder. The bottom of the 1st as the 2-2 misses high. Yee's work the count full. It's a big backbreaker in that 5th frame, having a runner on with 1 out. But now the count is full. After the first 2 were retired in this inning, Ryman set. The payoff pitch. Runner takes off. Yee, a high tapper. The right side into no man's land, and the play will not be made in time on the glove flip from Fulsher. Yee's in safely an infield single. His 2nd hit of the ball game, to aboard with 2 down now for the Thunder.
This is exactly where you want to be if you're the Thunder. You got Jack Gill coming up to the plate. Gill, I believe he's 2 hits already, 3 hits already so far today.
2 for 3 in the ball game.
2 for 3.
Hits in his last 2 at-bats, including a leadoff single an inning ago. Runner in scoring position. Thunder looking to get on the board for the first time in this game and series.
What you don't want is to turn double here. Ooh, that one looked a little bit inside. Gill having to back up from that one. Gill doesn't crowd the plate, so that one, looked a little more inside than normal.
The base hit his leadoff batter last inning. Another breaking ball on the ground to second. Fulsher's got it, and he'll flip to second in time, an inning ending. 4-6 fielder's choice. We're through 7 in Carroll Stream. It's 5-0 Millikin. We head to the top of the 8th here at Lee Pfund Stadium.
degrees.
The top of the 8th, Billy Kessler back to work. Score remains 5-0. Thunder can't push any across, having a couple of runners on. And 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. 5, 6, 7 spots due up for the Big Blue. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers returning to here for the series opener. Games 2 and 3 will be here tomorrow as well. First pitch to Elliot Fulcher. This is high for ball 1.
Kessler coming out last inning. Had a great inning. He got all 3 out.
Yeah, faced the minimum
Yeah.
after allowing a leadoff single. The 1-0 misses upstairs as well. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Big Blue. No runs on 6 hits, 2 errors for the Thunder. So Parker, despite losing by 5, the Thunder out hitting the Big Blue here in the series opener.
Yeah, they are. They've had hot bats. They've been really good. It's just a couple of those mishaps by the Thunder. Obviously had that balk that got a run in, and then had that throwing error from third.
If you're just tuning in, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, a pair in the 5th, and then an extra run added in the top of inning 6 for the visitors. Here this evening as the rain is, for the most part, stopped. It's been spitting throughout the last 3 innings, but it's gotten a lot better as the 2-1 in the air and out of play as well down the right field line. Count 2-2 now on Elliot Fulcher.
You know, it's getting a little bit later. We're getting close to 8 o'clock. Makes me think, Andy, what's for dinner? What's on the menu for dinner?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, I already ate, man. I ate before I got here.
Come on, man.
On the go, man. I know. I ate at the old folk time. I ate early. How about you? What's on the plate for you?
I have no clue. Usually on Friday nights, I'm good for. This is a very odd combination. I know. I'm good for fried calamari and a piece of cheesecake.
Fried calamari is fantastic. As the payoff pitch to Fulcher, sharply hit on the ground, diving. Noah Yee at second, gets to his feet. His throw to first is off the bag. That was a fantastic play by the senior infielder, but it will be a leadoff infield single for Elliot Fulcher.
It looked like Yee may have landed on his hand a little funny there. He's kind of took his glove off. He's shaking his hand out. It's either that or the rain kind of got to his throwing hand and he wasn't able to control that throw to first as much as he would have liked to. But yeah, fried calamari and cheesecake. That's I've got a local place that I go to get some good fried calamari. I love it.
First pitch to Crisbit, misses high. What type of cheesecake?
Just regular. So I've never really been one of those kind of exotic cheesecake guys, I guess you would say. I've never been to the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, that was going to be my next question for you.
I love cheesecake though, just regular cheesecake, and this is probably like one of the best cheesecakes that I've ever had. And it's not a triangle either. They give it to you in squares. Okay. Yeah.
I've heard of that before. I know some places will do that. That's interesting. That is an interesting combination, but I guess it makes you look forward to Friday night. So that's your first stop once you leave Lee Pfund Stadium here this evening.
Unless we're talking about last Friday night, I sit down. I'm like, I know the guy there. I'm like, Cody, I'll get a cheesecake. Walks to the back and walks out. He goes, hey, we're out of cheesecake. I'm like, Cody,
no.
what are you doing to me, man? What are you doing?
Ruining your Friday night. You've been looking forward to that all week.
I was looking forward to some cheesecake, some baseball, basketball, but you know, I stuck to the calamari, so at least we had that going for us.
2-1, Crisbit showing bunt, puts one down right back to the hill. Kessler has it, and the only throw is to first. That throw high off the bag. Tag applied by Lynham. Right in time for out number 1. Runner moving to second on the sacrifice bunt. I guess to answer your question, though, at a burger on the way out. Burger night.
Culver's?
Fantastic. No, homemade.
Oh, homemade.
Right on the way
Even
out,
better.
on the way back from work. Oh, yeah. Grab one to go. It was fantastic. Ate it on the way. It was good stuff, man. It was a good pick-me-up, especially because not with the rain. It was grilling weather just a handful of hours ago.
You cheese on your burger guy?
Oh, yeah.
American? Cheddar?
Yep, American. Yep. I'll do cheddar. I mean, dude, I'm pretty good with anything, really, cheese-wise. I'm not a picky cheese eater. Growing up, I was one of the pickier eaters you'll ever run into. Still a little bit picky, but I've gotten a lot better since my childhood. But with cheese, man, cheese and chocolate, really anything goes. I'm pretty flexible with those things. As the first pitch to Blake Van Beers is fouled back.
You ever had brie, the cheese? Brie?
I've not, no.
So it's one of these like softer cheeses. You find it on like charcuterie boards every now and again. But the place that I go to get my calamari and cheesecake, they have a bacon apple brie burger.
Interesting.
So it's, kind of these caramelized apples, like diced up apples.
Okay.
You got the bacon, you got the cheese, but it's brie and it's melted onto the burger. It's one of the better burgers that I've had.
Interesting.
And there's a lot of like these weird burger combinations out there. Like I've had a peanut butter and jelly burger.
Really?
How
was that?
It's not what you're expecting. So it was like a jalapeno jelly type deal.
Oh, okay.
So it was spicy and savory. It was really good.
1-1. Van Beers in the air to deep left. Out in front of the track. Scott's there to make the catch. Runner tagging to third, and the throw in there will not be in time. A lot of deep fly balls into left center here this evening. Now 2 away in the 8th. The score remains 5-0. The Thunder will look to get something back in the bottom half. They only have 6 more outs to work with after this year in this ball game.
6 outs to work with and a couple runs to make up.
That's Kozlowski now, as he's reached in 2 of his 3 plate appearances in this ball game.
Yeah, that slide into third was a little bit dangerous as it's getting wet out there. Those slides you carry a little bit further. Almost slid off the bag there.
We'll see the infield at regular depth with 2 down. Yeah, and that plays a factor as well, especially on turf. They throw nowhere near the bag from Scott. Ended up getting by the cutoff man. Gillen ended up near the line, out in left. Righty on lefty battle, first time. Kozlowski is seeing Kessler here this evening as the first pitch can't find the zone. The wind picking up as well. Overall, not a typical May evening here in the Chicagoland area. You would think March or April. It's the 1-0 line foul down the third base side. Count evens 1-1. Kozlowski, that infield single his last time up in the top of the 6th. And a rather quickly moving game as well. It's just about 2 hours old, and we're already in the 8th. Only 1 pitching change made mid-inning. Each team using 2 arms so far. Kessler in relief of the freshman left-hander Nate Burden is the 1-1 grounded foul into the Millikin dugout down the first base line. And it is Nolan Ryman on the mound. He entered the game with the bases loaded.
He got him out of a pinch there.
And nobody out. That was
didn't let up any runs.
That was a few innings ago. That's how the Thunder are still scoreless in this series opener as Kessler's 1-2 misses well upstairs to even the count. The catcher, Hayden Stork, on deck. Thunder hoping to have him lead off the 9th inning. Out of the windup, Kessler, his 2-2. He got him swinging. Kozlowski down on strikes. Kessler strands a runner on third. A couple of scoreless frames worked for the right-hander in relief here this evening. Head to the bottom of the 8th. Score remains 5-0 here at Lee Pfund Stadium.
James Scott.
Part of the order due up here for the Thunder in the bottom of the 8th. They trail at 5-0, 3-4-5. James Scott leading off against Nolan Ryman. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers back here with you in Carroll Streams. The first pitch runs inside it and hits Scott. So just like that, Parker right away a leadoff base runner for the Thunder.
Yeah, he just ate that one right on the arm, bicep, elbow area. Oh boy.
Second time on the bases in as many plate appearances for Scott here this evening. Rut Feltel now, and this is a guy you've talked a lot about, not only in our first broadcast together, but obviously today with it being senior day, him being honored. This would be a big spot for him here, the true slugger of the squad. Leading
Yeah,
the
he's
team
the
in
hot
homers
bat.
and runs driven in, facing one of the Big Blues' best arms this year, and Ryman as a strike is thrown in to begin this battle.
Yeah, he's the hot bat, the Florida man, the senior, the utility player. He's hoping for something hot here. Maybe a hit that the wind can carry a little bit.
A one-tap foul, now thinking 2. He's 0 for 1 in 3 plate appearances. Drew a walk in the 6th. His last time up was hit by a pitch way back in the 1st. As the wind continues to pick up, a bit chillier. We're still getting that spit that we've had since the 5th inning. Rain has gone down a lot, though. It is.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. Papers are still soaking wet on our table here, but that's all right. The show must go on as the 0-2 is fouled out of play.
Look, better the paper getting wet than all the technology and everything else getting wet.
Our technology, our personal computers, our broadcasting technology here, it's all in a safe spot. We got our mixer inside along with the rest of the streaming technology. We're all good. It's just Parker and I that are freezing out here. But it is A-OK as the 0-2 high fastball is foul tipped into the glove of Hayden Stork for out number 1.
Next to hit for Wheaton, the center fielder, number 14, Braden Angle.
Braden Angle looking for his first hit and the first time on the bases here this evening with 1 out and a runner on first. Last time up for Angle popped out to Ty Cribbett in foul territory. That was with the bases loaded. Nobody out. The first batter that Ryman faced in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to him. It's on the outside corner for strike 1. After Angle, it'll be Peyton McClowry on deck. On senior night, both teams with 6 hits in the 5-0 Big Blue lead. Another outside corner pitch that is in there from the right-hander. Ryman working arm side against Angle. Count now 0-2. See if he works on that side of the plate again.
I imagine he would. That's kind of where he's been hot, kind of painting that outside corner.
He goes there with a fastball. Angle on top of it, though. Was ready for it. Parker fouling it back to the screen. Count remains 0-2.
Yeah, he didn't want to chance a strike at that one. Obviously, you got to make a little bit of contact there. Try to keep yourself alive at the plate, especially in a situation like this. You got a man on first. You're down 5 runs.
It's the next 0-2, low and inside. It gets just by the catcher. Stork enough for Scott to take second. So runner in scoring position with 1 away in the count now. A ball and 2 strikes on the Thunder center fielder.
Yeah, this is where you need to make some good plays if you're the Thunder. You got a runner in scoring position. You've left a lot of runners in scoring position on so far in this ball game.
The next 2-strike offering to Angle. Hit in the air to center field. Gade over to make the grab. Scott will stay put at second. 2 away now in the bottom of the 8th.
And like we mentioned, that brings up McClowry to the plate. Another one of the seniors here tonight on senior night.
He's also 0 for 3, hit into that back-breaking 6-4-3 inning-ending double play in the bottom of the 6th inning in his last time up. That was Ryman getting out of the jam of the bases loaded and nobody out. McClowry, though, has a chance here with a runner in scoring position to put the Thunder on the board late.
See if he squares up to bunt. He's done that a couple times.
Stays true here. First pitch fastball fouled away into the parking lot behind the first base dugout of the Big Blue. Count beginning 0-1 on McClowry.
That one was heading a little too close to my car.
I know that was a conversation we had the last time we were on the air a few weeks ago here. Having to deal with
foul balls, the parking.
Here. It's a tough yard to figure out as the 0-1's on the inside corner for strike 2. And I obviously have said before my time playing youth baseball in the Chicagoland area, I live about 20 minutes from here, so coming to Lee Pfund for a really long time, and those are always things you got to learn. You learn the right spots to park, and it is where you and I are parked down that first base line. The 0-2 here with the runner on second to McClowry. Is in there for strike 3. Thunder to leave a runner on second. 8 scoreless from the Millikin pitching staff here this evening in the series opener. We head to the 9th. It's 5-0 here in Carroll Street.
time is it?
We are back for the top of the ninth. 9-1-2 due up for the Big Blue. Hayden Stork, the catcher, to lead it off. He's 0 for 3 with a run driven in. 5-0 the score. Andy Ockham, Parker Rogers back with you here at Lee Pfund Stadium. Parker, it is Billy Kessler back on the mound. He's worked 2 scoreless in relief so far this evening.
Yeah, Kessler's been great. The freshman out of San Clemente, California. He's come in relief a couple times so far this year. He's done fantastic. We saw him go the minimum in his first inning of relief. He had a leadoff hit there, and then Ham threw the runner out at second.
Thunder leaving a runner on second in the bottom of the 8th. Liner into center. Engel coming out. He's unable to make the play, and it gets by him. Stork will end up on second to lead off the top of the 9th. Flips the card perfectly back to the top of the Big Blue order.
Not going to lie, I thought Engel had that one. Couldn't see it perfectly from where I was sitting.
His first time on the bases today for Stork, and it brings up Liam McGill for the 5th time in this ball game, who has scored once and is 0 for 4. Yeah, I thought he had it too. Had a good read on it as well.
He did.
Unfortunately, unable to come up with it. So looks like that could be the 7th hit for the Big Blue in this ball game. 13th between both teams. And the Thunder had their chances to score here on senior night, just haven't been able to push anything across. Kessler on the third base side of the rubber. Looks back to second. McGill squaring around. First pitch breaking ball is in there for strike 1. McGill's last time up, a liner over to third. Nice play made by Nathan Hedlund to retire the side in that top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, Hedlund just squared up on that one, and it was a liner right to him. He was ready for it. He was looking, because the play right before that one, ball got away from him a little bit.
Pulled back on the bunt there, did McGill, and chasing downstairs on that offering from Kessler. Count quickly 0-2. What has been a quick ball game, just over 2 hours old. It is 8:08. It was a 6 o'clock first pitch here tonight. We're in the 9th inning. Typically, you would think there'd be less than 5 runs on the board for one side, as Kessler's
of course
0-2 is fouled off.
How many of those runs are earned? Is it 2 or 3?
I believe it was 3.
Yeah. So far, three earned runs for the Wheaton pitching staff today. Obviously, we had that balk that saw a run come through, a couple errors, I believe. Was it 2 errors for the Thunder today?
Still something to positively hang your head
Oh,
on
yeah.
for pitching staff. We mentioned Nate Burden looks sharp as the next 0-2 foul tip into the glove of Luke Ham. Good job by him staying with that one for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, good job there by Kessler. It's a good showing right there against McGill.
Brings up Busher at his 2nd triple of the season. Drove in his 40th run back in the 5th. He also singled in the 7th, was caught stealing. So a 2 for 3 effort in 4 plate appearances. Busher aboard in 3 of his 4 trips to the plate in this ball game. Righty on righty battle. Kessler set. 1 look back to second, and the first pitch to Busher is painted on the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, Kessler's found his groove. He's kind of dealing right now, and if Wheaton's able to pull something out here in the 9th, he'll be credited with the save.
The gate on deck. Getting to the middle now of this Millikin order. As a hush falls upon the ground. 0-1 breaking ball in the air to right center. That's going to split the gap and get down for a hit. Stork getting the wave around from third. Yee's relay throw to the plate is not in time. It was close, though. Noah Yee making it close from shallow center, and is an RBI single for Sam Busher, his 2nd run driven into the ball game.
I mean, Yee put all he had into that throw home. I mean, he just wound up and threw his whole body into it, unable to make it there in time. That was a great hit there for Busher.
He's squaring it up well. It is now 6-0 Big Blue. In the top of the 9th, Tyler Gade has reached twice, his lone hit being a double. He scored the game's first run, or game's 2nd run, I should say, back in the 3rd. The first pitch to him lined into left. Scott over to his right to make the catch. A hard hit ball is the 2nd out in this 9th frame.
Good eye there by Scott, just tracking that one down, getting there in time. Trying to put this inning away, put it behind him. I would like to mention this is the last series of the regular season, and it's very positive for the Thunder having 2 freshmen come out here tonight and deal in the way that they have been. That's very promising for next season. That's obviously something you look for you know, in the waning moments of a season, just what you're going to have next year, how you're going to come out, and how you're going to, you know, continue to build off the year that you've had so far.
Andy Nieberge fouling off the first pitch he sees. The first baseman last time up a ground out over to short to retire the side in the 7th. Kessler's 0-1 misses inside to even the count at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, Nieberge just kind of jumping out of the way of that one. Looked like a little Michael Jackson move he was pulling.
A runner on first, already a run added in the frame for the Big Blue. 6-0 the score here in Carroll Stream as Kessler's 1-1 misses low and out. As well, dealing with the elements here this evening. Things have subsided. The rain has
stopped for the most part.
At least left us for now as the 2-1 breaking ball popped up, foul territory, third base line. Hedlund over near the fence. He just runs out of room. So the count evens here at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Two's all the way across. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Fortunately for the Thunder, but unfortunately for the sake of the added pun for the broadcast, not 2 runners on.
Yeah.
The lone runner on first being Sam Busher after his RBI single. Second run driven into the ballgame, his 41st of the season.
Who's on first?
That's a good reference there, like that. It is Busher, or so we think. Kessler set, the 2-2. Runner takes off. This one misses low. Ham from his knees. Throw down to second on the money. Another fantastic throw from Luke Ham.
The second of the day for Ham.
In both times, he has caught Busher stealing. A run, though, added for the Big Blue. They lead by 6 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance here for the Thunder here in Carroll Stream.
Yeah.
The bottom of the 9th brings up the bottom 3 spots of the Thunder order. Second time the 7, 8, 9 spots set to hit for the Big Blue here in this ball, or for the Thunder in this ball game against Big Blue pitching. The opener of this series on senior night. The Thunder dug out down the third baseline, starting to get some energy rolling. Andy Ock and Parker Rogers here with you. Parker, we've been saying it throughout the last few innings. Chip away, just got to get a few back. Thunder haven't been able to do so. They got to get them all here. As the first pitch to Chris Lynham is in the air. It'll get out of play down the first base line.
Yeah, you're hoping for a 9th inning miracle here. Something, you know, just something to do. Put something on the board at least. It would be very hard to come out senior night and have a goose egg on the board.
They've had their chances in this game. As Nolan Ryman back on the mound, a foul ball as well in the similar spot we saw in the 0-0 offering. Count 0-2 now on Lyman. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors to the Big Blue. They added another run in the top half of this 9th inning. No runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Thunder. The right-hander Ryman set. The 0-2 misses off the plate. Went back to the fastball. Had those bases loaded with nobody out in the 6th. Ryman came in, pop out, inning-ending double play, and Thunder just haven't been able to capitalize here tonight as the 1-2 hit well in the air to center. Gade coming in on it. He'll have to play it on a bounce.
And that one dropped really well in front of Gade there. I think Gade thought it was going to carry just a little bit more. A lot of these balls have been carrying quite a bit here tonight. We've seen that wind, especially in the early innings. A couple of those balls just kind of drifted out.
Pitch running for Wheaton, number 11, Michael Tang. And up to bat for the
Michael
Thunder,
Tang, the
number
pitch
4,
run.
Daniel Hilliard.
For the Thunder, Daniel Hilliard, the pinch hitter.
Oh, Chang coming into pinch run, the freshman out of Seoul, South Korea. Not North Korea. Had to catch myself there.
A left-handed bat, Hilliard getting a chance here. First pinch hitter off the bench from either side in the series opener. And we'll reiterate this one last time because we're here in the bottom of the ninth. The doubleheader tomorrow between these two teams, originally supposed to be in Decatur, will be here. So we'll stick it in Carroll Stream to close out the regular season for both squads. First pitch swinging is Hilliard. He fouls it back.
The doubleheader tomorrow starts at noon, I believe. I should know. I have to be here.
I believe you're right on that as well. A base hit. 7 hits now for the Thunder. Lyman bookending his day with hits.
Yep.
A knock in his first at-bat back in the second. He gets one here in the ninth.
Not a bad way to end your day, especially, you know, in a ball game such as this. You're trying as much as you can. You know you're contributing.
1-1 to Hilliard, misses off the plate. 2 balls and a strike now on the pinch hitter. Nobody out. Ryman's been lights out in relief for the Big Blue, not just in this game, but in the season. He's looking to seal the deal here.
Yeah, Hilliard is one of these seniors here tonight, getting the opportunity to pinch hit.
And he's ahead in the count at 3-1. Looking to get 2 runners on with nobody out in the last of this ninth frame. Ryman set. The 3-1 misses up and out. Hilliard a walk. First 2 have reached here in the ninth.
Hilliard, just on him, he's appeared in 59 games in his Thunder career with a career .272 batting average and 27 RBIs. This season, he has a .290 batting average with 13 runs scored and 11 RBIs, hitting 2 home runs.
Nathan Hedlund, now the right-handed hitting third baseman who's reached in each of his last 2 plate appearances. Walking in the 7th, picked up a base hit back in the 5th. First pitch to him from Ryman, misses high for ball 1.
Obviously, Hedlund wants to get on base here, and he wants to bring Yee up to the plate with 3 on, no outs. I think that's where Yee can thrive the most here in the waning moments of this ball game.
Chance to load the bags as the 1-0 is lined foul and out of play. Both teams 8 and 9 in CCIW play entering this evening's contest. Ryman set the 1-1. Paints the outside corner on a fastball for strike 2.
Yeah, that was a good pitch there by Ryman.
As you mentioned, E on deck. Gill will follow him. Those are the 2 guys the Thunder want up with nobody out in this 9th frame. It'll be up to Hedlund to keep that going as the 1-2 fastball misses upstairs. Good discipline from Hedlund laying off that one.
Yeah, he kind of watched that one go in. I think he was expecting that one to be just a little high.
We'll see if Ryman goes back to the heater and if he works either up or away on the 2-2. Went middle. Foul tipped into the glove of Stork for strike 3 in the first out.
Stepping up to the plate, the second baseman, number 8, Noah Yee.
5th time around the Thunder order this evening. Noah Yee has reached in 2 of his 4 trips. Has 2 hits, infield singles, last time up in the 7th.
So 2 on, 1 out for Yee. See if he can drive something across maybe.
And Ryman starts him off the fastball on the outside corner, and it's in there for strike 1.
Like you mentioned, Gill on deck now for the Thunder. He's been the hot bat tonight.
Right-hander set the 1-0. Elevated heater, I should say 0-1 elevated heater. Now count even at a ball and a strike. Out on second. The pinch runner Chang and Hilliard, the pinch hitters on first. Another fastball that just misses. 2-1. Only fastballs Yee has seen here in this battle.
Yee having a good eye there, not swinging on it.
And he's in the driver's seat here at 2-1. Middle, fastball, foul tip into the glove of Stork for strike 2. We'll see if he gets anything other than a fastball here, Parker.
He's got to be expecting. I would expect a breaking ball or something here because I've seen only fastballs.
He went back to the heater and it's fouled away. Instead of trying to change the eye levels, he's just going with my best on best. Hey, here it is. Go hit it.
That's the type of matchup you want, best on best.
The scoring one in the second, one in the third, a pair in the fifth, one in the sixth, and now one in the ninth for the Big Blue as the 2-2 is on the inside corner for a called strike 3.
Yeah, Yee doesn't like that. He thought that one was a little too far inside, had to back off the plate for that one.
With 2 down, it's Jack Gill. Back-to-back batters punched out for Ryman in the ninth.
Yeah, you got to think if Ryman gets Gill out here, this is a perfect outing for him today. Coming in relief, not letting up really anything at all, and he's just been solid the entire time through.
Gill a couple of hits. Those are the third and sixth frames, and he takes strike 1 out of the hand of Ryman. Just like that, Thunder down to their final out here in the series opener and on senior day. Ryman set all the focus here on Gill as he misses upstairs. So again, pinch runner out on second, that being Chang. Hillier on first. Ryman's 1-1 is swung on and missed. Gill tardy on that offering for strike 2.
Well, Coach Hedlund had something to say to the ump there. He's kind of frustrated. I would imagine Coach would be frustrated. Just the way the ball game's kind of shaking out on senior night. He wants more for his players. But the good news is there's 2 opportunities tomorrow to come out.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed to end the ball game. 3 strikeouts for Nolan Ryman after letting the first 2 runners on. Here in the ninth, 6-0 the final. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Big Blue. No runs, 7 hits. 2 errors for the Thunder here on senior night. Parker, before we sign off for the evening, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, props to the seniors, man. They've had a great year so far, a great tenure here at Wheaton. Obviously, you want more for senior night, but just hats off to them for battling and sticking through. We'll be back out here tomorrow at noon for the doubleheader that got moved from Decatur here to Carroll Stream.
As you said, disappointing ending. Thunder having their opportunities this evening, couldn't cash in. 6-0 the final, back here tomorrow. Thank you as always for tuning into this presentation of Wheaton College Athletics and Thunder Baseball. For my partner tonight, Parker Rogers, I'm Andy Ockham, signing off for now here at Lee Pfund Stadium.